All right, people. So now we're here. We're here to the month of March. We are here to the month of March. I end up having two appointments on the same day. One was with my PCP, which is my primary care physician, and one was with the GYN, who told me he didn't want to give me a hysterectomy because of my weight. Cool. I had to let my PCP know that I needed to see him because I was telling her I'm getting to the point my body, I can recognize and I can feel when I'm about to need a transfusion, because that's my body starts changing on me. I start becoming like I can't breathe. And so she called the doctor's office and he was like, yeah, I'm going to see her. It only took me maybe 10 minutes to get down there. My mom said, now, once you get down there, we're going to find out if you want to be admitted. If he doesn't do anything, what do you want to do? You want to go to Vanderbilt or what you want to do? I said, my next move is going to be Vanderbilt, because I was like, I'm tired, Mom. I can't do this. I just can't go through this no more. So I get over there to see GYN. I tell him what's going on. I tell him what I'm feeling. I'm like, my blood is low. I know I'm going to need a transfusion because I've been through this so many times. I know what's going to happen. I asked him, was he going to admit me? He told me, no, wait until these hormone pills kick in. And they really take effect. Of course, I cussed him out as I was walking out the door, told him he was a sorry ass, excuse the language, you a sorry ass, and I won't be coming to see your ass no more. And I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. And the tone that I meant it in was the tone that I could have literally, Lord forgive me, slapped the hell out of him. I was on a violent streak then because, sir, what you're telling me is making no sense. And you also, when I first came to see you, told me why people stopped seeing you, because you always talking about their weight. I don't care about my weight. Well, I mean, I care, but what I mean is I don't care about you talking about it. What I need to happen is for me to stop bleeding and constantly getting stuck by needles. So whatever you saying, technically I don't want to hear this shit. Excuse my language once again, but this is how I'm feeling at the moment. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. So I told my mom, let's go to Vanderbilt. We went to Vanderbilt. We sat there for 6 hours. I didn't care how long it took, but it seemed like everybody and their mama, grandma, great-grandmama, great-granddaddy, and great-great-great-great-grandchildren was in this doggone hospital. Everybody had something going on. People throwing up. It was just a mess. I did not care. I was not going home until I was going to either be admitted or somebody was going to tell me something. I went in on a Wednesday night. At midnight, I finally got back there and seen the nurse. And she looked through everything and saw what happened. I ain't have to explain that, so I had to tell her a little bit. And I was like, listen, I really need to see somebody like this. I can't take this anymore. So she was like, well, do you want to see someone Thursday or Friday? I said Thursday. That would be today because it's after midnight, correct? And she was like, yes. Thank you, Jesus. I ended up going to Vanderbilt Women's Center in Nashville off of Thompson Lane. Was in there describing to the lady, the doctor, my issues, what was going on, how I was diagnosed with fibroids. Of course, I had to have my mom in there. Baby, thank God for mothers and thank God for praying mothers, because, baby, mine didn't play no games, and she a nurse, too, so she wasn't about to let nothing happen to her child. And was in there telling her everything. She said, well, the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a pap smear. I have no problem with that. Let's do this because I'm tired. And I was telling her, too, I'm tired of bleeding. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of having all these transfusions. If you could just look at my arm, the bruises, and, of course, in a later video, I am going to include, like, some pictures of the blood clot, some picture of my arm, my stomach, after the hysterectomy and everything. But I was just fed up. I was tired. She gave me a pap smear. They couldn't even go in there all the way with the stuff because I was hurting. It was killing me. Like, I was like, I can't take this no more. And they end up calling the male doctor in there. He gets in there, he looks and say, oh, it's cancer. And he walks out the room. Once again, this is somebody else I wanted to slap the shit out of. Excuse my language. I wanted to slap fire from this man because he didn't have any compassion as to what the hell he telling me. You don't tell me I got cancer and then you just walk out the damn room like you living your best life. So now I'm like, so distraught. And the lady was like, I'll be right back. And I had to call my mama. I need you to come in this room where I'm at right now. And I'm telling her, I'm like, what happened is just blood all over the floor. This is how bad I'm bleeding just from this pap smear. I haven't stopped bleeding. I'm bleeding every day. I'm bleeding so bad that I'm going through 6 pads an hour. If I could wear a diaper, I would have worn one because it is just that ridiculous. And I was telling my mom, I was like, listen, this man just came back here. They looked in my butt, and the first thing he said out his mouth is it's cancer. And I'm like, I couldn't do nothing but cry because it's like he just, damn it, the way he just came in here and said that with no compassion, I'm worried because people don't understand that is something serious to hear you got cancer. My dad passed away from prostate. I done had kinfolks, breast cancer, cancer in the bones, lung cancer. So you come here, you tell me this, okay, you need to be punched in the face. So my mom went to praying, I went to praying. She was just saying, God gonna get the victory in the end of this entire situation. No matter what it is, he's gonna get the victory. No need to worry. The nurse came back in, the other doctor, she was a female, she came back in, she said, listen, we need you to go to Vanderbilt. They are going to call you when they're ready and they have a bed ready for you. It will be today. It looks like it is cancer, but they need to do a biopsy to test the biopsy and see what's going on. No problem. I get to Vanderbilt that night. The next day, everybody from the cancer center coming in. I don't want to put no doctors out there, but I'm going to call him Dr. A. Oncologist, the best of the best. Love him and his team. Vanderbilt was the best decision I have ever made. That man didn't care about my weight. All he cared about was we need to stop the bleeding and what's going on, and we know it's cancer. But we're going to run further tests on you. So what ended up happening, I couldn't have the biopsy awake because that's how painful it was to me. They had to put me to sleep. They put me to sleep, took some out, found out it was cancer. It was endometrial cancer. It was stage 1. I was still in the hospital. They was still I had to go through the anesthesiologist. I had to go through going through the machines. Oh man, I had to go through a lot before I could even have surgery. But it was okay because they were moving me along in the steps and the processes that I needed to take to get better. So I went through all that. I had the hysterectomy done. I did stop breathing during the hysterectomy. It was a 6-hour surgery. I did stop breathing for a second, so they had to put a tube down my throat. Just know that when I woke up, they did have my hands tied down because the first reaction was to snatch whatever in my mouth out because my throat hurt, and they had to explain to me what was going on, and I had to tell them, give me a pen and a piece of paper. All I wanted to know was, where's my mother? Like, I need her right now. I don't care what y'all talking about, just get my mama back here. They end up putting me on the surge med, the floor you come out of surgery in. And I was on that floor. I ended up getting released a couple of days later. Thank God. Got a call on March the 25th that I had stage 1 endometrial cancer. Ended up going back April the 8th. And they was telling me, we've ran further tests. You may need radiation, you may not. I end up having to go back maybe 2-3 weeks later. And that's when he told me they had removed all of it. There was nothing left. I had to have a CT scan done to make sure nothing was there. Thank God. No radiation, no cancer. Praising God, because me and my mom was like, well, maybe God just put it there so that they can hurry up and do the process. We can hurry up and go along through the process. And that's what happened. Yeah, so that is the entire length of what has taken place each and every month so far, dealing with bleeding the way that I was. I just want to say, ladies, or even men, if you're listening to this, fight. Don't just fight for you, but have someone that's gonna fight with you. Find you a doctor that's not just gonna give you anything, but let you know what the real deal is, and gonna go full force and stand behind you 10 toes down. Now that we've gotten this out the way, let's move on to the next stage of what's going on. So I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. Stay tuned.